There is a metal so strong and light that it's used for the most advanced technologies we can conceive. It's used to build planes and submarines, and it's even used to rebuild your skeleton. The metal at the heart of all of this is titanium, a metal so resilient and versatile it's difficult to list all its uses in the amount of time I've given myself. But when you see how much titanium can be used for, it makes sense that it was named for the Titans of Greek mythology. Hello and welcome to Meet the Elements, the series where I look at the stories of humanity through the lens of the periodic table. This time we're taking a look at titanium, a metal that you've undoubtedly heard of, but I'm betting you've never really given thought as to why it's used where it is. Titanium's story begins in the late 18th century in Cornwall, England. A local clergyman and amateur mineralogist named William Gregor was taking a walk by a stream in his parish. On this particular day, he noticed a deposit of unusual black sand, glistening in the creek bed. Collecting a sample of the sand, Gregor decided to look more closely at this intriguing substance. He was able to isolate a white oxide from the sand, something that didn't match anything already known. Realizing he had found something new, Gregor named it Menachenite, after the Menachem Valley and parish where he found it. However, his discovery was largely ignored. 4 years later, in 1795, the more well-known chemist Martin Heinrich Klaproth was looking at a piece of rutile ore from Hungary when he independently found the same oxide Gregor had found years earlier. Unaware of Gregor's work, Klaproth knew that he was looking at something brand new. He felt such a discovery deserved a name filled with power. He reached back to Greek mythology and chose the name titanium after the Titans. It was later determined that William Gregor did discover the element first, and he is the one credited as doing so, but Klaproth's choice of name is the one that has stuck around, and it was a fantastic choice of name. But for over 100 years, titanium remained more of a laboratory curiosity than anything practical. The reason why is because it was rather difficult to get a piece of pure titanium. Trying to smelt it using traditional methods like you would with iron would give you titanium carbide rather than pure titanium. A partial success yielded 95% pure titanium through a process using chlorine gas and pure sodium. But the first real crack came in 1910. The American chemist Matthew A. Hunter created a process that yielded 99.9% pure titanium. He achieved this by heating titanium tetrachloride with sodium under extreme pressure. This became known as the Hunter process, and it was a landmark achievement. But it was a messy, dangerous, and not the most economical process. The same basic process was refined even further in the 1930s. This breakthrough came from the metallurgist William J. Kroll. The main change was replacing the sodium with magnesium. The process is a symphony of extreme chemistry. First, you take titanium ore and blast it with chlorine gas in a carbon monoxide atmosphere at scorching temperatures approaching 1000 degrees Celsius. The reaction strips away oxygen from the titanium atoms and replaces it with chlorine to create liquid titanium tetrachloride, often called TiCl or TiCl4. After purification, the titanium tetrachloride is added to a stainless steel container, and the magnesium is then added. At temperatures between 800 and 900 degrees Celsius, the titanium tetrachloride is reduced into metallic titanium sponge. But the process is not quite done. The titanium sponge, a rough, porous mass, is crushed and pressed into something more solid. But then it's melted in a giant vacuum arc furnace to remove impurities and form a solid, uniform ingot. It's a slow and expensive process, demanding immense amounts of energy and labor. This complexity is the fundamental reason why titanium is vastly more expensive than steel. But it works, and the Kroll process is still the current method used to produce titanium today. As fate would have it, titanium arrived just in time for a party. A very tense, very cold party. I'm talking about the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a frantic arms race, where every advantage, no matter how small, could tip the balance of power. Titanium's incredible properties, as strong as steel but a fraction of the weight, with resistance to heat and corrosion, made it very attractive to both sides. An incredible showcase for titanium was the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. The CIA wanted a new spy plane that could fly higher and faster than previous jets. The design called for flight above 85,000 feet at over 3 times the speed of sound. The engineers at Lockheed designed the aircraft around the metal. 85% of the Blackbird structure was made of titanium alloys, but this led to a major problem. The United States didn't have any way to procure the amount of titanium they needed. The biggest producer of titanium at the time was, believe it or not, the Soviet Union. So the CIA created a web of fake companies and bogus operations to buy titanium from the Soviets in order to use it to build a plane to spy on said Soviets. But while the global superpowers were playing with their new toys, titanium was also making a profound and lasting impact inside the human body itself. This revolutionary chapter starts, like so many great scientific leaps, with an accident. In 1952, a Swedish doctor named Per Ingvar Brånemark was researching how bone marrow produces new blood cells. Brånemark wanted to view this process directly, so he attached eggshell-thin windows of titanium onto the femurs of rabbits, since these thin sheets of the metal would be transparent to strong enough light. The research itself went as planned, but when the titanium was to be removed, Brånemark found it was locked in place. Upon closer inspection, he found that the titanium had physically fused to the bone. This was an incredible discovery. It meant titanium could be used to create permanent, load-bearing anchors inside the human body, a concept thought to be impossible. The applications exploded from there. Artificial hip and knee joints that last for decades, giving people restored mobility. Dental implants to replace lost teeth that are strong enough to act like the real thing. Bones, screws, and plates to mend catastrophic fractures. And a wonderful bonus, since titanium is non-magnetic, patients with these implants can safely undergo MRI scans, a critical diagnostic tool that would be dangerous with magnetic metals. So what started with an intriguing black sand from a quiet English creek has led to spy planes flying faster than before and replacing the very bones that make up our skeleton. Titanium's story is one of profound transformation. For more than a century, it held a mythological name without any real power, a titan locked away by its own stubborn chemistry. Then the Kroll Process unleashed it. Titanium became the ultimate metal of the Cold War, flying faster and further than we ever had. And even then, this metal of conflict was able to become a metal of healing and restoration. The same material trusted to construct a screaming jet engine is now trusted to replace a human hip, seamlessly fusing with our own bodies. And that's not even mentioning titanium's use in jewelry and art, being able to display an entire rainbow of colors through anodizing the metal, or how titanium dioxide is one of the most prolific pigments that can make things look whiter than white. Titanium is a material as strong as a god, but as welcome in our bodies as if it were always there. The metal named for titans truly changed the world. Thanks for watching. Interestingly enough, I actually have a dental implant, right up front too. And while I didn't ask when I got it, I assume it's made with titanium. And I'm willing to bet you or someone you know has titanium in their body. So go ahead and let me know down in the comments. And while you're there, let me know what other element you think has a story worth telling. And if you want more videos about the elements that shape our world, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode of Meet the Elements.